What's going on? Facebook, YouTube, how are you? All right, let's go. Everything is trash, but seems to be that we're at a unique moment in time. Glad to be witnessing this, must say. What's going on, everybody, on the interwebs, as it were, the book of faces, the tube of you, the probably negative one person that's watching on Twitch, and all of my fronds here on Instagram. What's going on? Let me just increase my brightness here so I can see. All right, the world is trash. Thank you all for being here. I made a short clip earlier today, posted it on the Gramble, and then it was a scattered, scrumbled audio jambalaya sandwich, so I had to remove that. So it appeared on the other platforms, but whatever, they don't want you to hear from me, I guess. So cool, awesome, that seems fun. Listen, I wanted to talk about a couple of things. We're at a precipice of world changing bag tickling right now. All eyes of the planet on the planet of Earth are on Canada. All of my fellow Americanos out there, I know that we kind of hung our hat. We kind of hung our hat on how we lead the world, as it were, with the flag, the red, white, and blue, with the freedoms and whatnot. But coincidentally, it's Canada that's leading the world now. Look at me, I'm the captain now, eh? Yo, I'm gonna get me a couple of waffles, maybe throw some maple syrup on there. Too bad it'll take 6.5 months to get to me because everything's gridlocked, but whatever. Gonna still order it. Yep. Yo, everything is garbage. I wanted to talk about a couple things. I wanted to specifically talk about Canada. I also wanted to briefly touch on on what we witnessed yesterday at the football game, at the sports ball game with Magic Johnson, Gavin Mussolini, the heavily lacquered sun god of San Francisco, Governor Gaslight, Eric Garcetti, and London Breed. I don't want to spend too much time on it, but I just wanted to say a couple of quick things. First of all, the entire planet is in an abusive relationship with fake leaders. The vast majority of people in this world are total NPC simpletons that are casual observers of actual life. They are completely, willfully, and woefully unaware of what is actually going on in the world. And that is why everything is actual garbage. For those, I'm sure all of you are very based. You all saw what occurred yesterday at the NFC Championship game. So if not, I'll briefly crank your bag, twist it sideways, and stuff it in your dirt star real fast so everyone's on the same page. Last night, the National Football League, who was famous for stopping hate by writing "Stop Hate" on the back of a helmet. I'm helping. Good job, guys. You're doing great. Everyone's doing great. Who was literally living on the planet of Earth and was just like, I'm going to go out there and hate. And then they were just watching and they saw some quarterback with the back of their helmet says, "Don't hate." And they're like, okay. I was going to hate. I was about to go out and hate, but now I'm not going to hate because that's not to hate. Don't hate. Okay. Good job, guys. Congratulations. You're doing a great job. Don't hate. Oh, sick. You're like, end hatred. It's like, what? What does that even mean? Like, literally, what do you mean? Stop hate. Okay. All these people that are just like mired with hatred. They're just like sitting there like watching the football game on their TV, and they're like, all right, okay. Well, if it says it on the back of Drew Brees' helmet, then yes, that's a heck of a case. Heck of a case. They're like, no hate for me. No hate for me. So anyways, so we're in this abusive hatred. So yesterday during the sports ball game with the NFL, it was in Los Angeles for the Los Angeles Rams. They played a little bit of sports ball. They threw it over here. A bunch of people got head injuries, a bunch of brain injuries, whatever. Don't worry, their health care is going to run out, and they'll die early, whatever. They don't care. All about that money. Here we go. So at the game, you have Gavin Mussolini, you have London Breed, you have Eric Garcetti hanging out in a suite with cool billionaires. Hey, look at me, I'm hanging with billionaires. Magic and the billionaires. And you have these dweebs, literal dweebs. You're gonna tell me that Magic Johnson is just chilling because he wants to with Mussolini and Eric Garcetti and London Breed? The spirit is inside me. The spirit moves me. You're telling me Magic Johnson is like, what's Garcetti up to? Yo, beep, 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 beep. Yo, Garcetti! He's like, yo, Magic! It's like, no. It's just like, literally no. These literal dweebs, these literal piece of garbage dweebs. They are like only there because they represent an inroad to some other thing that they need. Nobody wants to hang out with Gavin Newsom. Literally 0 people want to hang out with him. Even his wife is like, oh God. And they're like, yeah. She's just like, let's open a winery because I'm sick of this relationship. He's like, I'm gonna go skiing for a couple of weeks. She's like, skiing? It's the summer. He's like, know what I mean? And everyone's just like, well, don't talk about that. It's Pelosi's son. It's Pelosi's nephew. And he's just like, oh, he disappears and like $100 million goes missing. And they're like, he's on the fast track to be the president. Cool. How was the skiing? Gav, but whatever. Can't talk about that. Okay, cool. So anyways, so you have these literal dweebs. You have literal dweeb Garcetti, this tyrant dweeb, and you have it's like, yeah, it's like what superhero movie is this? Magic Johnson, Garcetti, and Gav. Like, please. It's just like, obviously Magic Johnson and all of those people have a lot of interest in what these tyrants are able to allow them to do. Imagine if you were opening up a business or whatever. How would you curry favor? How would you twist the bag of these dweebs? Oh, I don't know. Just get the mayor of Los Angeles, the governor of California, and the mayor of San Francisco, like the 3 largest and most powerful entities in the entire state, and get him with a billionaire, get him with Magic Johnson, and get him with whomever else, a bunch of billionaire fat cat investors, and they're like, perfect. We'll just twist their bag and we'll make them feel like they're our boys. Like Gav, did you see the photo or the video of Gav walking up to Magic Johnson, like giving him like a crispy hot dap, like they've been boys forever? They're like, yeah, and meanwhile in 3 weeks, Magic's gonna like send him a text like, yo, do you mind if I dump like my raw sewage from like this business I'm starting like directly in the street in the middle of downtown LA? And Garcetti's like, gotcha, Magic. It's like, sick. And they're just, he like is opening a new business with a couple of his billionaire friends, and he's the face of it. And they just hit up London Breed. They're like, hey, do you want to go to a jazz club? I was just curious if I could dump a bunch of waste into the river. She's like, no problem. It's just like, you honestly think these people are friends with each other? Yeah, Magic Johnson's chilling at his crib, hitting up London. Yo, London, what you doing tonight for number 4, the game? Want to hit up my suite? Literally no. These people are such dweebs. And that's the funny thing too, is they actually think they're cool. They actually think Big Madge, like I guarantee you, like twist my bag and crank it down my throat if I'm wrong about this. But when London Breed and Eric Garcetti go off to pasture and hide under the bridge where they collect silver, specifically Garcetti, he collects silver coins so you can cross the bridge. Him and Fouch live under the bridge and try to throw the first pitch out to each other, and the ball goes off into the sewage infested river, and Breed is just like, I feel the spirit. You're telling me that after these people don't have any position of power, after these people are not in public office, that Big Madge is going to call them up to go to the game? You honestly think that's going to happen? He's like, what's up? It's like, that literally never happened ever. But all right. Like Eric Garcetti's literal, like theoretical friends from high school don't want to hang out with him. And you're telling me Big Madge is hitting him on the text? Like, give me a break. It's like, okay. But they're such dweebs, they don't even get it. They're just so hot. They're so hungry for attention and power that they don't even care. You see the grin on Garcetti's face and London Breed's face in that suite? They're like, they're just like, here's my boy Magic. It's like Magic literally hates you. It's like they couldn't care less about you, but whatever. It's like, okay, like Magic's lunch was larger than Garcetti, but whatever. I'm not gonna resort to that. I'm just saying, like, These people are literally power and attention hungry tyrants that have done literally nothing in their life but suckle at the ball bag of power, be willing to sacrifice anything and everything, including their literal soul, to obtain power and capture it and hold on to it in perpetuity forever. These people are literally the most losery dweebs of any and all time. And they should be ashamed of themselves. And I don't know how they sleep at night because they're disgusting. How they could sit in that box. I don't know if anybody saw the video of Gav getting roasted on the news broadcast today. They're like, so you took off the diaper. There's 600,000 kids wearing a diaper in school all day. He's like, I was very judicious with it. It's like, that sounds like bullshit. Like, you honestly believe that this dweeb was sitting in there with his diaper on? Please. That's very believable. That's about as believable as Big Madge hitting up Garcetti to see what he's up to this Sunday night. Yo, Garcetti, what you doing, dog? Capital DAWG. What's up, dog? You trying to hit my suite at the game? No. Like, he's like, I don't know, I'm so busy. Maybe I could make room in my schedule. It's like, yeah, it's like Garcetti, like your schedule's wide open. Like there's somebody pooping in the street in front of the stadium. Like someone literally dropped a steaming brown like on the sidewalk in front of the stadium and collect like a $5,000 check from the city. Yeah, dude, thanks for coming to LA. Here's an N95. It's like, cool. But whatever. Nobody cares. The world is trash. So everybody's just in this like absolutely insane, emotionally manipulative relationship with fake leadership who are just appointed and anointed into power by other demons that put them into power, that are financially controlled by the powers that be, that probably make mistake after mistake after mistake, which allows them to be blackmailed in perpetuity for the remainder of their life. You're not telling me there's not an upside down creepy snuff film of Gav doing like a rail off some dude in like a gas station parking lot from 5 years ago? You're kidding yourself, Jerry. You know that he is. He's like, I just misplaced $18 billion in healthcare insurance funds. It's like, you're telling me that that's not the case? They obviously are like propping these dudes up, but whatever. It's like, hello, has anyone ever seen like a television show? Anybody see the show Billions? Anybody ever seen a TV show, a drama? That's what really happens. It's like, okay. It's like, you're telling me these guys are like working hard. It's like Gav's worth $20 million, and you're telling me he's sitting on the train tracks in Los Angeles picking up cardboard boxes because he feels bad about the train. Give me a break, you loser. It's like so much more can be done through policy, you psychopath. Like, you being out there for a photo op, if he really wanted to do it, he would just go. He would just make a policy that would allow that to not happen in the first place. Instead, he goes out and picks up a box with his diaper on in the sun, and he's like, oh, there. He's like, take a video, post it on my Instagram. He's like, BRB, I'm gonna go to Big Bear and do a bunch of snow for the week. It's like, good for you, dude. Congratulations. But whatever, can't say that. Anyhow, so yeah. And if you need any more evidence, and then I'll move on from this particular topic, it's just like the only thing that these people care about is getting fake accolades and getting fake pumped up and their social stock raising because they hold the cards. The only thing that all of these billionaires and all of these people that are rich want from them is to curry favor from them so that when push comes to shove, they can be like, remember that time we had such a great time at the suite at the game? Wasn't that sick? You, me, in London, we were feeling the spirit. Jazz. We just listened to jazz. Gav, and Newsom and the gang, the whole gang. You, me, Magic, and those billionaires. That was sick. Also, by the way, do you mind if I dump all this poisonous radioactive waste into downtown LA? Is that cool with you? Cool. See you at the suite on Friday. It's like, cool. That's all they want. These people they're so clueless. They were like dweebs in high school, and they're just like, oh my god, I'm with Magic Johnson. Like that's the guy. It's like Magic comes in to grease the wheels, and then when they get in, they give him a glass of water, which Gavin had a tall glass of water. They give him a glass of water, and then the billionaire walks up and he's like, yo, I'm about to just like dump all this poison in like on downtown LA. Is that cool? And he's like, yeah, no problem. As long as you let me hang out with Magic again, that'd be cool. As long as I can get a photo op for my Facebook page. That's cool. Cool. My connection is unstable on Wi-Fi for Facebook and YouTube. That's dope. That seems fine. Whatever. Yo, big thanks to Thomas and to Tempe Mays for the donations on the YouTubes there. Appreciate you guys. Thank you so much for the generous donations. I appreciate it. Obviously, I've been demonetized here on the Gramble Teeny. Supposedly coming back in a couple days. So there's my info right there if anybody wants to tickle my back. But anyways, back to the lab. So you just have these literal dweebazoids, creepazoids, garbage monsters, literally just sitting there laughing and just watching this football game as children in their entire state, hundreds of thousands of them, just get completely mentally abused by not allowing them to learn or see faces, just disable their motor skills. That seems totally fine. Who cares about like the future and the youth and all that? These people are psychotic, but whatever. And then the last thing that I will say on the topic is like, if you need evidence to prove that these people are power hungry underworld sorcerers, you need to look no further than the fact that Nancy Garbalosi, the underworld sea monster, 50-foot-long demon from San Francisco, is running for her position again. This woman and her husband have basically insider traded themselves to a 100 some odd $1 million fortune. Not only that, the lady has been working for however many years. She's 827 years old, which is half the age that a witch usually lives to, and she's running for office again. Retire, you psycho! But whatever. Who cares about that? These people care about absolutely nothing but power and fake accolades, and as long as they can hang out with Big Madge at the game, then they're good with it. They don't care who they destroy on the way. So anyhow, now back to the labyrinth. Yo, okay. Excuse me, twist my back. Look, what is occurring right now in Canada is quite possibly the most durable and significant protest that's happening in the Western world. Now, there have been protests in probably dozens, if not hundreds, of major cities around the world going along for the last 2 or whatever years. And they have been not televised, not shown anywhere. But this one in Canada has some real legs, primarily for a couple reasons. Number one is that they're using these trucks. And the fact that there's so many of these trucks and they have the ability to entangle the supply chain and entangle the flows of people and goods. And the fact that they are able to essentially live there because they have basically living rooms on wheels. It's like, imagine if there was 50,000 RVs that just like all posted up there. It really is like a diabolical combination of like all of just the right things at just the right time. Because in any traditional normal fight back, so to speak, you're talking sub-zero temperatures. How would you be able to do that? Plus, if the people are not, it's like there's so many different things that could be done to get those people out of there, that the fact that they're inside kind of for lack of a better word, like a tank, not a tank, but I don't want that to be manipulated as if it's in a violent way, but they're inside a protective case with a bed and a TV and a refrigerator, a generator. It really is just like a beautiful thing to see. So it's like, if there was ever an opportunity to open people's eyes around the world to watching propaganda fold out in real time, this would be the time. Because the things that they're doing to co-opt this movement, to basically disparage the movement of what these people are doing, is crumbling and falls so flat on its face that, to me, the highest probability thing of breaking it up and essentially ruining it would be them artificially inserting people to cause a stir. And that's all that they're really going to have to do to mess it up. But the good thing is that Canadians, by and large, are overwhelmingly peaceful, kind, and generous folks. They all have such positive intentions for being there. They're not angry at the system. They're angry at the lack of their ability to live. And it's not so much anger as much as it is duty, which is why it's so interesting. That's why it really has legs, is because it's dutiful. It's dutiful. It's people that are doing it out of what they believe to be their duty to the country and to the people of the world. It's not people that are hopped up on anger, that have been watching people rioting on TV like we had last summer. It's people that believe it is their duty to go out there and stand up for free peoples of the earth. And you have so many people that are not only like-minded, but generally speaking, peaceful and not wanting to create conflict. Then it's like I would wager. Look, I've been to a lot of music festivals in my day, and you would go to certain music festivals, and some dude would be like zoom in on, like, he just like popped a bean or something. He'd like plow through the crowd and bump into people. There's other festivals you'd go to, and someone would be like, sorry about that. They'd be like, kindly walk through. I could imagine the amount of people saying sorry when you like accidentally bump into somebody in downtown Ottawa right now is probably like off the chart. It's like the word sorry has probably been said like 50,000 times. Like, oh, I'm sorry about that. Like, let me go buy you another coffee. Like, I didn't mean to spill that or whatever. It's like, these are like overwhelmingly peaceful and kind people that are just like, they're like, this is my duty for the good of the world, you know? So it's really a beautiful thing. And it's like, of all places in the world that such a thing could actually work, it's like, they're like, oh, sorry, like, didn't mean to block the lane. You know what I mean? Like, they'll let people go through. Like, I don't know. I think it's such a perfect and beautiful thing that you have all of these people doing great things. I saw videos today of people like scraping down windows that got spray painted and cleaning off the monuments, or cleaning off one of the monuments downtown, like with a brush. I saw a video today where they like bagged up the garbage and like put the garbage in the right place. I've been to like parties at my house that have been more messy than like downtown Ottawa right now. You know, it's like people come to my house and like they'll have too many White Claws. They'll just like smash the can on their head and like throw it over their shoulder. And like there's like 13 people at the house. It's like a Halloween party or something. There'll be like 13 people here, and they're like, ah! And like they'll throw like a beer in the street, like across the road, and like somehow in downtown Ottawa, like 75,000 people, and they're like, yeah, let me pick up this trash. But like at the crib, they're just like, bah! It's like, okay. So that seems fine. It's like cleaner than when they got there. They like planned it. Like if it was the summertime, they'd have like an herb garden going, you know? They'd be like, oh, they're like, let's plant some trees here. Oh, it's true. It's true. Oh man. And as this continues to play out, it's going to be such a beautiful thing to watch. I just hope that these psychopaths don't co-opt it, and watching this literal cowardly dweebletini, this Justin Trudeau, watching this dude from the porch of his hideout today, he's just like, it's like, these people are so sick. I just don't understand how a person can look at these people's face and actually believe that these people are telling the truth. They're like, we believe in free speech, but not this free speech. I saw this thing. It was like a tweet from, I don't even remember who it was. The chief of defense, I believe it was. Yeah. Canada's chief of defense, General Wayne said he was sickened to see protesters dance on the tomb of the unknown soldier and desecrate the war memorial. It's like, okay, so even if that was the case, it's like, these are things that are in the downtown area, and are they really desecrating it? It just happens to be there. And and there was like one that they said it was desecrating because the flag was upside down and there was a sign that said mandate freedom. They're like, desecration. It's like, what? It's like people were burning down Wendy's in Georgia, like, I don't know, like 8 months ago. And they're like, it's for freedom. It's like, that Wendy's is on fire, bro. Like there's people like dancing, throwing fire, like throwing Molotov cocktails into a Wendy's. And they're just like, this is good. It's for George. It's for Big George. It's like, all right. Meanwhile, like these people are like scrubbing off like spray paint, and they're just like, tyrants. It's like, okay. And they literally, this guy, General He goes, generations of Canadians have fought and died for our rights, including free speech, but not this. That's literally what he said, but not this. Excuse me, Henry? Excuse me, General Henry? Like, what? Like, think about stupid. Like, this person wrote this. This is the thing that this human being wrote. Like, wrote it out and was like, this is good. Send it. It's like, what? Free speech as long as I agree with it. We fought for free speech, but not this speech. It's like, you're a sad person, bro. Like, what is wrong with you? Free speech except for this speech. It's like, don't you understand what free speech means? Oh. And then what's even more funny is this dude. How stupid does this dude think people are? He's like, I may have come in close proximity with somebody with the clap. I'm just going to hide away in my bungalow. And then all mysteriously today, he's like, I actually have it, but go get the juice, but I have it. I'm going to be hiding away for 10 days. That is the biggest load of BS I ever heard in my life. I would be willing to wager any amount of money that this dude does not have the clap right now. Literally any amount of money. I would wager literally any amount of money. This dude does not have the clap. Like, excuse me, bro? Please. He's like, convenient. What's going to happen next week when his mandatory quarantine is up? He's going to be like, I lost my voice. Fighting for free speech. I have to quarantine for 27 days. It's like, okay, dude. This dude is such a liar. And the way that he talks to people in the microphone is so disgusting. He's like, we Canadians, we fight for each other. It's like, why are you talking to me like I'm 7? Like, this dude, like if you were still a drama teacher, I would drop the class, you dweeb. But whatever. Cool. Generations of Canadians have fought and died for our rights, including free speech, but not this speech. And if you want to go into a Costco and purchase a pair of socks, you may not, unless you present proof that you have received this treatment that we must force you to get to protect your literal self. And all of these people that are going to be literally alone in their truck, literally alone with a literal microwave and a literal bed in their literal truck, driving alone, that can attach a container to the back of their truck, literally outside, where they are literally alone as they drive alone across a literal border alone to take this thing that gets connected literally outside alone, must have this mysterious procedure that we must force them to have to protect them from themselves. But it doesn't can't say that, because you can't say it, because that's not suspect at all. No talking about it. You can say things as long as they're not these things. You can say this, and it's misinformation. What does that word even mean anymore? What does it mean? It doesn't even mean anything now. And then it's so funny. It's like I watched this. I saw this picture today. People, like, the internet remains undefeated. Apparently, this dweeb has a photographer. He has like some Johnny Redbeard photographer, whatever, that takes photos of him, like his personal photographer. And the guy's like out taking a photo of like a very bad flag that's like brand new, crisp, like fresh out of the package with like creases on it. And there's like one guy with the flag, and the photographer's like right there taking a picture of the flag. And then they're using that photo of that flag as justification as they lightarily blast and circulate it around the entire planet for justification why the rest of the 100,000 people should not be listened to. Because there's one guy with a brand new flag that we maybe bought yesterday on wish.com. It's like, all right, they're like, take it out of the package. Don't even iron it. Let's just go. It's like, we need to send this out to Reuters. It's like, what is wrong with you? These people are so disgusting. Fringe minority that's bigger than the entire army, the entire Canadian army. Fringe, on the fringe with $10 million. Yeah. On the fringe. It's like that's a crispity crackly fringe there, you dweeb. Is that why you fled your post, you coward? But whatever. I am hiding out in my quiet, snow-laden bungalow. It's like and then like some reporter was like, yo, dweeble, they're like, hey, you dweeb. We've seen you talk to people at other protests. Why are you not talking to this protest? He's like, I like to talk to protests with people that I already agree with. It's like, do you understand? Do you understand what public representative means, you psychotic dweeb? He's like, I'm gonna fail you in my drama class. It's like, all right. Maybe if they made maybe if they had a theme night at the Freedom convoy. Maybe if they had a theme night, Arabian Nights theme night, maybe he would come. Anybody get that one? Yeah, you got it. You know it. You get it. It's an Arabian Nights theme. Like Trudeau's just like, he shows up. He's just like, how do I wear the correct garb for this theme? If anybody has any connections to anybody at the Freedom Convoy, have them do a theme night, Arabian Nights theme night, and maybe Trudeau will come. Maybe he'll come to the rally. Yo, somebody send that to the people. I want to hear that joke somewhere. I need somebody meme that. Like maybe if we turn the rally into a theme night, Arabian Nights theme night, then maybe Justin would show up. Oh God. That is pretty funny. Yeah, that's a good one. Anyhow, yeah, so I just think like yo, you know what else is kind of funny too? Here's another thing, and like I don't know what kind of distribution your boy has like out in the world, as it were. But I know that my biggest contingent of following is in Canada, second obviously to the United States. I think about 73 or 75% of my followers are in the United States, but the second biggest is Canada. Wouldn't it be hilarious if you were just like sitting at the convoy right now, like in your truck or something, just like chilling, hanging out, like having what I would assume to be like a stack of pancakes with syrup, and you're just like watching this stream? That would be so funny. It's like we could be the nightly entertainment for these people. What a great thing that would be. That would make me so happy if that is actually occurring. So if anybody is actually there, drop me a Canadian flag in the comments if you're literally there right now. That would be so amazing. But even if you're not, I know a lot of people that follow me have been down there and have been doing really awesome things and being on the right side of history, as it were. But this represents such a unique moment in time. And this represents such a beautiful actual moment that like these people could literally change the game. They could change the world for so many people. And the fact that they have those trucks there, and the fact that they've managed to block all those people and gather so many people, and all of these people, like I said, are doing it out of duty and not anger. It's more frustration and duty than it is anger. I think it's just the right combination of things. The big thing to be concerned about for the most is them planting people, like planting Fed boys over there to start going nuts. That is like the biggest threat. Now, I remember this, and this is something that I saw. This is something that I may or may not have seen, if I may or may not have allegedly been in the place on the 6th of a particular month, starting with the letter J, in 2000 and whatever year, whatever. But I saw in a photo or whatever that there was like this like crudely erected like gallows type looking thing. Hey, there's somebody in the trucker line right there. That's what's up. That was like made out of 2x4s. That it literally looked like somebody just wheeled out into like the main area just so they could snap photos of it. And like I saw photos of that thing everywhere. And I remember when I was actually allegedly, maybe not, I don't know, I was watching a live stream of someone that was there. I remember being like, why is that there? Like, could you imagine how stupid, like who would not only have gone to Home Depot the day before, but then used their saw and their nails and their screws and erected this and then had to put it in a pickup truck and drive it down. And then where all of the people were at allegedly was so far away from where you'd be able to park your car. So you'd have like multiple human men picking this thing up and like walking it down the street, only to walk it into the middle of what? To take a couple of pictures of it. It's like, what would possess a person to do that? Unless they were only doing it purely and simply for the actual photo of it, for the sensationalism of it, so that they could then reference that and be like, they erected a censorship. Like that's exactly what they're doing with these flags. It's like you know how simple it would be to have a person just have a flag that says something messed up or a couple of posters and have them wear a winter mask and have them walk around down there and then just be like, yeah, all 100,000 people, it doesn't matter what they say because there's this one guy doing this one thing. It's so easy. It's like a powder keg where they could just walk in and just totally derail the whole thing by just making it look a certain way. But people are so stupid and clueless and unaware of what's actually going on that they can't even connect the dots. They can't even connect the dots that there would be an incentive for people to ruin it, to make it look bad. But no. But I'm just absolutely loving what's going on. And to the person that is at the convoy right now, or the person that's in here that says they're up there, I think that's an amazing thing. And I will just say, it's like, I know everyone's talking about this and that's exactly what it needs to be, but it's like the eyes of the world are on these people and what they're doing is absolutely legendary. I do believe that in a lot of cases, this will spark even more ideas around the entire world. And I hope that this is the end to this theoretical thing that literally pretty much already ended, but they're just trying to puppeteer. They're just trying to continue on with all of this insane and sick and disgusting stuff around the entire world. Now they're coming for the kids and they want to get them emergency garbage authorization, and you guys know the deal. The other hot topic news item of the moment is everybody talking about this Spotify Joe Rogan situation and Neil Young. I actually got an email and a message from a person that supposedly works at NBC Universal. She said, hey, I saw this clip that you had made about Neil Young. Do you care if we use this on our thing? So maybe you'll see Bobby Sauce in an NBC News segment or something in the next couple days. I don't know. So keep an eye out for that. If anybody sees it, let me know. They'll be like conservative liar. Robert Sauce says Neil Young is no longer relevant, but whatever. But yeah, I just find it absolutely like, look, I understand these rockers of old, these people that were relevant and significant songwriters, no burn on them, but these dudes are such clowns. Like Joni Mitchell and I saw some guy, Niles DeGiles, or who even cares? Some dude with a creepy weird top hat, the Springsteen guy. Who cares? He's like, oh, joining in solidarity. It's like, who are you? It's just like, okay, boomer, yeah, take your music off Spotify. -5 people care. Like people are on Spotify listening to like ASAP Ferg and ASAP Rocky and Upside Down ASAP and like red hair, like scraggly. Like, I don't understand your words. Like they're really concerned because there's like not a Joni Mitchell on there, I guess. Niles DeGiles, Upside Down Biles. Who cares? Like, congratulations, Boomer. Like, you're making a stand. Congrats. Like, everybody's really impressed. They're like, this weird guy that was relevant 29 years ago that has a creepy top hat took his music off Spotify. And every single person on earth was like, oh no. Like, guess I'll have to rearrange my playlist. Take Niles DeGiles off. Yeah, the guy with the weird top hat. Yeah, cool. I don't know. Does anyone care? I don't care. I'm just saying. I did notice that after I said Neil Young is so woke he canceled himself, I saw that statement getting memed around. I even saw Donald Trump Jr. post a meme that said that exact statement. And I just came up with that, so I thought that was kind of interesting. Obviously, I'm not going to say that I made the whole phrase up, but I said it as it related to Neil Young, and then it made its way around, so that was kind of cool. But yeah, anybody that saw Anomaly's video today at Dreamrare on Instagram, he was pointing out how Neil Young's music got bought out by this bigger company that is owned by BlackRock. It's like, who knows if these people are even making these decisions? And I think it was Springsteen recently that sold sold his entire music catalog for like $500 million. And he has a podcast with Obama where it was him and Barry O talking about like, who even cares? He's like, what kind of coffee you like, Bruce? He's like, I like medium roast. And it's like, wow, this is the most boring podcast ever. If I was looking at the charts for worst podcasts to ever exist in the history of time, it would be Springsteen v. Obama right next to freaking what's his face? Chris Cuomo and Don Limon. It's like Don Limon talking about how he's depressed and oppressed. He's like, the square footage of my house in the Hamptons is not up to my... It's like, shut up, Lime. It's like, why don't you have too many shots of tequila on New Year's Eve with Anderson Pooper, and both of you guys can act like anybody would care what you say or do if you weren't being propped up by like this massive lying news organization. They're like, hey, Pooper. They're like, hey, Pooper, I know your family's worth $500 billion. Do you want to work for us? He's like, yes. It's like, what was that art on the wall in your home? Like, what was that? Like, what was on the wall in your mom's room? Like, what was that? But whatever, who cares about that? That's fine. Don't Wikipedia Anderson Pooper. Don't look at that. Don't look at his family. Don't look at his family tree. That's just propaganda. Whatever, though. Like, who buys art like that? You know what I mean? Whatever. Anyhow, I do see people getting dicey in the comments. Love to see that. The thing that I just find to be the saddest about all this stuff is that, like, it is so completely and clearly obvious that we are witnessing like one of the greatest financial and power shifts like in human history. We're like witnessing all of the most psychotic people to ever be completely sell their soul for money and power and accolades. And you have dweebles like Garcetti and London Breed who are driving their cities into the ground. It's like, the state of California has a larger economy than most countries in the entire world. Just the state of California. Yet it has a rampant homelessness problem. How does that even make sense? They have some of the highest taxes, some of the highest property rates, some of the biggest businesses, the largest economy in the entire world. They have real assets in terms of land, ridiculous amount of oceanfront property. Some of the largest cities in America, they have huge farms that output all types of crops, vegetables, and so many other things. So many things are produced in California, yet there's people pooping in the street in Los Angeles and in San Francisco. And then you have them spending millions upon millions of dollars on towers to house homeless people. You got people doing drugs in the middle of the street in broad daylight. You got people robbing people at whatever point in the middle of town in Los Angeles. It's like, And no one, and people are so stupid that they will repeatedly keep voting for these people, keep choosing these policies that put these people in power. These people are disgusting. It's just like, who's watching Whoopee Cushion? Like, who's watching The View? Who are these people? Like, what is wrong with you? What is wrong with these people? How sick and clueless do you have to be to continue to allow this stuff to circulate? And what will happen? It's like, despite how obvious it is, it's despite how these people are lying directly to people's face, they still can't even see it. If anybody watched the interview with Mussolini today, when he got asked about that diaper, the look on this guy's face was the most psychotic look. He was just, he's like, I was very judicious. Like, I wore the diaper the whole time. I took it off for a second to have a glass of water. It's like, bro, there are photos and videos of you psycho. It's like, they are so brazen. It's like these dudes flaunt the rules in plain sight. There's photos, there's videos, there's evidence, there's documents, there's every single thing imaginable that they are driving their state, their city, their town, their county into the ground. And people are so dumb that they continue to choose and elect this. What is wrong with you? These people are in an emotional relationship and they don't even know it. So clueless, so much virtue signaling, so insane. And even here in Florida, this is like the coldest it's been in Florida in like 20 years or 10 years or whatever. And it's like people are walking outside with a diaper on alone right now. There's no rule. There's no nothing that makes them do that. And they're doing it. And it's like, what are you looking at? I just don't understand how somebody can be such an NPC that they can be operating through their life and they're just like, and I don't mean everybody. I'm just saying probably most people. All right, if you're that scared, fine. But there's like the vast majority of people. It's like, what are you looking at? Like, how? I don't understand how you could leave your house in the morning and you could strap a diaper on your face that's made of cloth that's been sitting in your cup holder for 3 months that you never washed, and you could wear this diaper into a store and not even question it, not even think about it, not even wonder what it's even doing. Like, what is wrong with you? And then you'll be I'm at the UPS store. I'm standing there. There's like 8 people in the store. One of the kids behind the counter has it on. The other one doesn't. 2 people in the store didn't have it on. One was me and one was this other woman. And then there's all these people wearing it in the store. And I'm like, what are you doing? Like, what are you protecting from? I just don't understand. It's like, and aside from all that, people have absolutely no concern that all of these people are being so brazen and obvious that they're not following their own dictates and they don't even care. It's like, what is wrong with you? It's like, I don't have kids, and what they're doing to the kids makes me angry every day. It's like, I see that picture of Garcetti, like Garcetti looks like he could fit in Magic Johnson's pocket. And it's like Big Magic pulls Garcetti out of his pocket, and then they take a photo together, and he's just like, he's got this like dweeble looking smile on his face. And it's like, bro, like, Magic doesn't want to hang out with you, dog. Like, you're a tyrant. Who remembers when Garcetti said that he was going to cut off power and electricity to private residences during this madness if they didn't follow his rules? They actually did that. This psychopath did that. And people are like, yeah. It's like, how disgusting these people are. Yeah. That seems like a believable pair of people that would hang out. London Breed, Garcetti, Mussolini, and Magic Johnson. Yeah. Okay. They're all just chilling out. Give me a break. And there was like a couple of other people. I'm gonna pull up the Instagram and see, because he mentioned a couple of other people. He's like, me and all my fat cat friends invited these dweeb politicians to give them a good time before we asked them if we can dump radioactive waste right in front of the governor's mansion. And they're like, no problem, Big Magic. It's like, okay. It's like, these people are being used and they don't even know it. They don't even care. They love the attention so much. They fiend the attention because they know they never did anything. The thing from Magic Johnson. I'm in the suite with Governor Gav Gav, Garcetti, London Breed, billionaire Alec Gores, my partner Mark Walter, Andy Rosenfeld, former McDonald's CEO Don Thompson, my friend Rob Lowe, and Dodgers EVP Lon Rosen. Cool, dude. And like just like Anomaly said today, it's like how cool are you that you're like, I'm hanging out with billionaires? Dope, dude. Dope. That seems cool, Magic. Congrats. That seems really awesome. Like, all right, bro. Cool. And it's like, all right. Like, so I'm looking up some of the names of these people. Okay. Billionaire Alec Gores. Okay. Alec Gores. Cool. Alec Gores, American billionaire. Okay, cool. Great. Yeah, these people just randomly want to chill with Garcetti. Give me a break. Yeah, and it's like if you look into the backgrounds of these people, like these people are billionaire business people. They own equity firms. They own all of this other stuff that would all be incentivized to know and have the powerful people on their side. You give Gav Garcetti and London Breed, a catered meal at the Rams game, and then you ask them for a favor. And then you get Magic Johnson to be the connector, to be the glue that gets all these people together. And why isn't there a picture of Gav and this billionaire? Why isn't there a picture of that? Oh, I don't know. Because the picture is with Magic Johnson. Because it's just cool, friendly Magic. Just Magic and the gang. Just cool Magic hanging. Just chilling out. Just Magic and pals. Just chilling in the suite with billionaires. It's like, congrats, guys. Meanwhile, they're standing 1 inch away from another woman that's not wearing a diaper. There's clearly no one wearing a diaper in the entire suite. Like, cool, dudes. Somebody said on Facebook, who owns BlackRock? A lot of people own BlackRock. I think they have like almost $10 trillion of assets under management. It's like, yeah, definitely something to think about. Yeah, you look at Magic Johnson's Instagram. He posted another picture earlier with his family. There's nobody wearing diapers. They don't have any diapers in their hand. These people are total liars and tyrants. They don't even care. None of these people care. Yeah. McDonald's CEO Don Thompson. Yet, meanwhile, a kid has to wear a diaper or get kicked out of school because what? Because they won't follow these rules. That seems fine. So I just looked up Don Thompson. He used to be the CEO of McDonald's. How many people are unhealthy because of the disgusting decisions of somebody that was at the CEO of McDonald's? Think about the amount of people that were poisoned by the people that run the McDonald's Corporation. And this dude was the CEO of McDonald's for 3 years. He was an executive at McDonald's. And then before that, where did he work? He was an electrical engineer at Northrop Grumman. And now he's on the board of directors of Beyond Meat. Cool. Dope. He also serves on the board of directors of Ronald McDonald House Charities, who kicked out people that didn't get the juice very recently. And he's on the board of directors at Northwestern Memorial Hospital. Interesting. That seems totally fine. Cool, guys. Cool. And that's who they're chilling with. That's who Garcetti and What's-Her-Face and London Breed and Gav are chilling with. A guy that sits on the board of directors of Ronald McDonald House. They made their stance very clear. On Northwestern Memorial Hospital, cool, in Chicago, cool. These guys are making money hand over fist, and that's who they're chilling with. And he worked at McDonald's. Awesome. It's like, can you imagine the amount of lives that have been adversely affected by this character? Awesome. But don't worry, guys. He works at Beyond Meat now. Now he sells you fake soy meat, which I'm sure is very healthy for you. It's just like laced up with all types of other alternative things that are probably not all that good for you to eat, but okay. But yeah, no big deal. I'm sure they're all fine. Yeah. That's just one of the guys. I found that out in 10 seconds just looking that up. It's like dope. Dodgers executive vice president Lon Rosen. Okay, cool. Dope. Yeah, they're all chilling, guys. Don't worry. They're all hanging out. These people are all chilling with no diaper on, just having a great old time, a grand old time. The people who eat fake meat and think it's healthier for them. Yeah, I'm sure it's fine. But anybody that does that, they'll be the first person to try to blow it into your brown eye. They're like, oh, here's a picture of a pig. Don't you like pigs? And it's like, bro. I get it, but like, I don't know. Just saying. Yeah, so it's just like, here's the other thing. Okay. Listen. We have throughout, I don't want to even say world history, even though it's true, but let's just say American history. Throughout American history, there have been countless examples of corporate profiteering, mismanagement, and shady behaviors in the halls of power, and disgusting, deceptive practices that have cost many people their health and their life. Countless examples of this. Like think of even like a basic one. What was it? On September 11th in New York City, the air is safe to breathe. They tell them that the air is safe to breathe, and all these dudes end up with all these crazy diseases. Think about things like Agent Orange. Think about all the things that the three-letter agencies have done to the people of America. Think about all the disgusting corporateering and profit mongering that your large corporations have done at the expense of the people. Think about all of those people. Think about companies like Boeing. I was watching American Greed earlier, and it was talking about the Boeing Corporation, who the U.S. government had deemed too big to fail, kind of like a couple of other big organizations that people like Elizabeth Warren love, like BlackRock, too big to fail. These people are all exchanging money, power, influence, scratching each other's backs, manipulating each other, and all of us are the idiots. We're the serfs. We're the minions. These people have been corrupt as long as since the beginning of time. The kings of the past wore a gold crown and sat at the castle at the top of the hill, and everybody knew who the king was. And when they decided to turn on the king, they knew where he was, what he looked like, they knew how to get to him. They knew that they had to rally all the people together to go for the king. That's what they did. Now, your modern day king wouldn't be so stupid. They're not going to sit at the top of the hill. They're not going to wear a gold crown. They're not going to let you know that they're the king. They're going to hide in the shadows like a coward so that they can prop other people up and put a bronze crown on them and paint it gold so you think they're the king. And then as soon as they no longer become useful, they throw them into the trash and then they prop up the next one. Every single big politico is exactly that. They find a person, they tickle their bag with power, they introduce them to Magic Johnson and give them a suite at the NFC Championship game. They twist their bag, they crank pleasures into their brown eye. They make them seem like they're so cool and so virtuous and so cool. Magic just wants to chill. Magic wants to hang at the game. Show them a life that they never wish they had. They never thought that they could have because they've never done anything of value in their life. Artificially pump up their social clout, invite them to all the new hotel openings and all the new restaurant openings and cut the ribbon, when really they're just tools and instruments for everybody to just further their own agenda. And these people get so addicted to the power and so addicted to the fame and so addicted to the social circles that they're willing to do anything to hold on to it. They're willing to do anything. They're willing to sacrifice anything, anybody in any industry, anybody, so that they can hold on to that power. They'll virtue signal just enough so that they can capture more votes the next time around. They don't care about the homeless population. They don't care about all the people ODing. They don't care about the opioid. They don't care about any of that stuff. All they care about is raising their own social stock. And they understand that if they were to take it away, that they would have absolutely nothing to contribute to society of any value whatsoever, especially from a social standpoint. You're going to tell me that people are going to want to chill with Eric Garcetti 5 years from now? Give me a break. You're telling me Big Madge is going to hit up Garcetti when he's not the mayor of Los Angeles and ask him to come to the suite? You're kidding yourself. You think anybody actually wants to hang out with Gavin Newsom? You honestly think that people like chilling with this guy? Please. Absolutely not. This guy is intolerable to even watch on a video for 5 minutes. Yet people are chilling with him. Let's have a glass of wine at Plump Jack, Gav. Cool, dude. Like, this dude doesn't have friends. All he has is people that are trying to use him for access to his power. And all he's doing is using them straight back. Yet despite all of this, despite centuries of lies, centuries of deception, centuries of and evidence upon evidence upon evidence upon evidence of absolutely insane people doing absolutely insane things at the expense of the people. Despite all of that evidence, despite every single television episode, every single documentary about corporate greed and all of the backdoor shady upside down deals that go on in every hall of power in the entire world, including in the United States, and the horrible, evil, no good, very bad things that people are willing to do even to their own people, their people in their own social circle, their own family members. And despite all that, people will just willfully and blindly completely drink the Kool-Aid about whatever is happening right now because Whoopi Cushion and Misery Behar and some other garbage monster said on TV that that's what they're supposed to do. You convince people to uninvite their family members from Thanksgiving. You convince people to uninvite their family members from Christmas dinner. You've convinced people to stay in their house for 2 years afraid. You've convinced people that you need to take a procedure in order to drive a truck alone in the middle of a trucking crisis, like in the middle of a supply chain crisis. It's so obvious. But everybody is such a clueless, mindless NPC, casual observer of life, spineless blob of nothingness that they can't even recognize how obvious they're being manipulated. It's right there. And they're just like, oh, they're just like, sick. No, you see Gav and Big Man? It's like, no. And these are the exact same people that don't pay attention, that don't even vote, that don't pay attention when they're doing all the sick and twisted, insane things that get us into this trap in the first place. But they're so clueless. They're so clueless. These people are not true Americans. They don't understand what America even means. They don't even understand what liberty means. They don't even understand what the flag represents because they haven't taken enough time to take the introspective thought and audit their life to realize how lucky they are to even be here in this country in the first place. Yet those exact same people will say that people who wear the flag, they should be afraid of them, that the gov never lies, despite hundreds of thousands of examples of them lying repeatedly, time and time again. They allow their attention to be misguided so that you demonize something like the Kroger Corporation and not something like BlackRock. You go after the exact opposite of who you're supposed to be mad at. And then you have organizations like Occupy Wall Street that went to Wall Street to complain about something that was created by Washington. And they're mad at the corporations on Wall Street when the people that they really should be mad at is the people in the White House, the people in the Capitol building, the people that set the laws that create the environment in which these companies are allowed to manipulate. You have organizations like the FAA that didn't do a good job paying attention to what Boeing was doing, deceiving them. And then as a result, you have those Boeing 737 Maxes crash into the ground because the FAA didn't do their job, but nobody gets held accountable for it, so nobody cares. You have organizations that are supposed to be the watchdogs on Wall Street that are supposed to watch all these big corporations and protect them from doing all this crazy stuff. And what do? They do a terrible job at that. And what do? They figure out how to throw Martha Stewart in jail, but you have a guy that's been profiteering and literally deceiving people out of hundreds of millions of dollars, Bernie Madoff types, that just scoot right by. You have companies that will make $100 billion in profit, and then they'll fine them $10 billion. There's no incentive. They're all in the bag. And despite how obvious this is, these people are so brainwashed and clueless that they can't even understand that the people that they're cheering for are stabbing them in the back, and they don't even understand. They don't even get it. It's like, bro, what is wrong with you? And then they'll get mad at their fellow human beings. They'll get mad at their friends. They'll get mad at people like me that they've known their entire life and they know to be a person of integrity and of honesty and truth. And they'll think that somebody like me represents some theoretical fringe minority that's anti this or anti that, or so somehow not virtuous anymore, even though they've known me to be that their whole life, because they think what? They think I wear a red hat and I vote for a certain thing, yet they'll take a person that they've known their whole life to be trustworthy and honorable, and they'll be like, nah, he's a blank now. It's like, what? It's like, you're so clueless. People are such a misunderstood meaning of the term friend. Like, what's a friend anymore? People are so clueless. They can't even separate the fact that somebody doesn't see the world the same as them, and so they just remove their friendship. They unfollow you, they block you, they cancel you, they talk shit about you to other people in social circles. They act like you're this person that they haven't known for the last 10 years. And then what? And then they disappear. Because why? Because they're so theoretically virtuous when they haven't even taken 10 seconds out of their day to even have a conversation with you in the first place. That's no friend. That's no friend. And the world is filled with people like that. The world is filled with people like that. The circle gets smaller the more integrity you have, interestingly enough. It's no achievement to have lots of friends. I used to think that was some type of achievement, because really what you have is you have a lot of acquaintances that are oftentimes using you for something or another, whether it be to pass the time, a friend of proximity, a friend for a season, or a friend for a reason. When in reality, it's like being a person deserving of respect, being an honorable, trustworthy, and honest person will make you more friends than being a good friend in their eyes ever even would, because they don't even understand what a friend is. So many people are passive observers of the world. They don't even believe that they have the ability to change anything. They don't even understand the power that they possess. And they understand that the only way for them to justify living a miserable NPC life, an empty shell of a life where they believe that they can't do anything to change the world, is to tell you that you can't change anything. It's always been like that. It's always going to be like that. You can't do it. What makes you think such and such? Oh, you know what makes me think that? I don't know, because I'm going to do it for the rest of my life and never quit, you psycho, you NPC. Like, I'm sorry, you have 4 lines of dialogue and then you cancel yourself out. Like, go live a life of mediocrity. You think any of those truckers in Canada thought to themselves, I can't do this. I'm not good enough. I'm not smart enough. I'm not blank. What could I do? If anybody thought that, nobody would be in that capital right now. And that psychopath would be saying the same garbage he said 5 days ago, and he mysteriously wouldn't have gotten the clap. Oh. But no. All of these people believed that they could be part of something greater than themselves. They all believed that they have power. They all understood that their thoughts are powerful. One person was like, what if we drove trucks to Ottawa? And then one other person was like, that's not a half bad idea. And then one other person was like, yo, I know 2 guys that got a truck. And then one other person was like, yo, that's a pretty good idea. I think I know a person that knows how to make a GoFundMe. And then one other person was like, yo, I could get some water. And then one other person was like, yo, I'll get some Gatorade. And then one other person was like, you know what? I got to do this for my kid. And then one other person was like, I know 5 people that'd be willing to do that. And then 10,000 other people picked up their keys and got in their truck and fucking did it. That's what happens, because those people understand that they need to have a spine or the world is toasted, because the only people that have ever done anything of any significance in the world ever have been relatively insignificant people that decided to be great. Relatively unknown people that seemed and appeared insignificant and small that chose greatness. That is how it happens. That's what they did. And here we are witnessing it in real time. People that believed that their thoughts were powerful. People that believed it doesn't have to be that way because it's been that way. Because one person believed that, it sparked a fire that caused 50,000 other people to believe that caused hundreds of thousands of other people to believe that. And who knows how many other tens of millions of people that has inspired in the last 7 days. Do you even understand how powerful that is? People are so clueless, yet they will go to the store and put on their diaper and mindlessly drone through life and think that they got to wait till 4 years from now so they can elect puppet number 527 to not represent them, while they laugh in their face. And instead, these dudes are like, fuck you. And they drove right to the core of it. And they were like, shut this mother down. That is power. That is something that has never been available at this scale, at this speed, at this rate ever in human history. And here we are in the throes of it. Here we are right in the middle. It's day 3. It's literally day 3, day 4. And they're right there, right now. And people will still, despite that, despite how obvious it is, will still sit in their house and wake up tomorrow and believe that they can't do anything because they're weak. They're weak of mind, they're weak of heart, and they have no soul that they believe is of any value. They're just willing to exist until they are purged, much like their non-pertinent memories are. And they're just like, yeah, I'm going to just be nothing. Cool, dude. If you want to avoid criticism, do nothing, say nothing, be nothing. And so many people subscribe to that ideology, and that's why everything sucks. Because we have so many people that could be great, that could do amazing things, that hold unforetold power that they don't even understand, that are too cowardly to even recognize that they have it, let alone do something, but to even see that it exists within themselves. They can't even bring themselves to even seeing that. You are weak, super weak. And they can't even come up with the most basic of ways to contribute, like just go there. Maybe make a post about it. Maybe have a conversation with a couple of people about it. Maybe make an Instagram reel, but do something. But instead, those exact same people will go around and be like, it can't be. I can't this. Yo, you're negative, dog. Escape from my life. And here's a new one. You like literally miss me with that, because I'm good with never talking to people like that ever again. I'm going to sit out here and live my life believing that I can't do anything because you're too weak to do it. So you're going to try to pull my mentality down. You're going to try to convince me that it can't be done because you're too much of a baby to try. Forget it. Miss me with that. I don't need that in my life. And I would say that it's probably none of you guys need that in your life either. But no, they're the first person to tell you can't. How are you going to do that? You're just going to drive down there? Yeah, I'm just going to drive down there, Bill. It's like, because you know that the first guy or gal or they or them or upside down hippopotamus, fluid, whatever they are, pink upside down stegosaurus, whoever said that they were going to go drive to Ottawa. You know that somebody was like, pfft, pfft. Those people are losers. Good for you, bro. there's this one quote. It's like people, I don't want to butcher it, but it was something along the lines of like, people who believe that they can contribute nothing to the world are usually interrupted by people doing it. Something like that. And it's like, this is not about, and like what's I find so disgusting is that there are so many people that are willing to be pure money and power driven savages that they don't even care about the world. They don't understand duty. They don't understand honor. They don't understand what it means to be deserving of respect. And they'll write stuff in the newspapers and say things on these news broadcasts so that they can collect their paycheck for what? So that they can rise their stock at such and such a news organization. And they'll be like, oh, it's a Supreme rally. It's for Supremes. It's like, what? What does this have to do? What does it have anything to do with that at all? Complete and total lie. And they have the audacity to say stuff like that. Oh, it's white. It's like, what does it have to do with white? These people are sick in the head. Disgusting. And there's some people that I follow online that suggest this to be true, that live in the United States, that live in the freest nation the world has ever known in the history of time, and they're commenting on this Canada situation when you know they didn't even take 10 minutes to do the research themselves. They just reposted some stupid meme from some garbage account from some clueless pink-haired goon that's just like, oh, well, it was rooted in 1954 because of so. It's like, first of all, you weren't alive back then. You don't know anything about what you're talking about. You didn't even hit the duck to search what this stupid meme says. But you're such a sad person that you're going to go and repost it. You're a coward. You're a fake virtue signaling loser. And these people think that they're somehow so virtuous and wise. It's like, you're sick. You're sick in the head. And then that exact same person will talk about all of their other foibles and beefs and quandaries that they have in life. Oh, I can't figure Mercury's in retrograde. It's like, Mercury's not in retrograde. Your brain is in garbage grade, dog. You need to wake up, fam. The world owes you nothing, Bill. And reposting garbage memes and rainbow flags and saying that such and such a person was oppressed when you didn't even take the time to watch the video. You'll literally march down the street and be like, Big Floyd, Big Floyd. And you'll be like, did you watch the body cam footage? Did you take 36 minutes to watch the body cam footage, you sicko? You're going to walk downtown and you're going to march in the street and you're going to post it on social media and you're going to say that you're this freedom fighter and you don't even watch the video, you loser, you liar, you savage, you spineless clown. That's what you're going to do? You didn't even watch the video? You didn't even watch the body cam footage? I didn't need to watch it. Say her name. Say her name. She was sleeping. He was asleep in the drive-thru. He just wanted a cheeseburger. Burn the Wendy's. You're a sad person. You're sick. And this is why the world is trash. This is why the world is trash, because those people will get their flag and get their Instagram and get their camera and march downtown and scream and yell about Big Floyd, but won't take 36 minutes to watch the body cam footage, to watch this dude act, to think with just a little bit of discernment for 5 seconds how if they were a police officer that was going from case to case to case to case, risking their life every single day, how if this particular situation presented itself without the benefit of hindsight being 2020, what you would have done, because you wouldn't have done anything because you weren't there, because you're too spineless and you couldn't even take 30 minutes to watch the video. Yet this person will lecture you and say her name, black square, bing, bang, bong, paint the sidewalk, everyone is evil, garbage, 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 as they just regurgitate the same NPC garbage talking points because they have no integrity. They have no honor whatsoever, and they're disgusting. And they'll act like people like me and people like you are somehow less virtuous because you did what? What, are you just going to do your own research? Yeah, you psychopath. I'm going to do my own research. Can you imagine what a sick and twisted, upside-down, stupid world we live in, that it's demonized for you to look shit up on the internet, for you to do your own research? That's the thing they have a problem with? Researching things? What are you going to research? Yeah, I'm going to research, you psychopath. What do you think journalists are supposed to do? The thing is I have more understanding of what this means than you. You're just willing to yell the same thing that everybody else is yelling. Say her name. Say her name. She was in bed sleeping. She was sleeping in bed while what's his face was picking up her Wendy's. He was just drunk in his car, just sleeping at the Wendy's. And then they just came and did all these bad things. And Jacob was just picking up his kids. He just helped two girls. He was helping two girls out of a fight. It's like, this dude had a weapon. This dude fought off two of these guys. What are you talking about? Say her name. It's like, you are a psychopath. Yet these are the people they're like, call your Congress people. It's like, you need to call DuckDuckGo and do a little bit of research. Like, what is wrong with you? And I see these people every single day, and they'll be like the first person to be like, I don't talk to Bobby anymore because he's an upside down such and such a Trumper. It's like, you're clueless, bro. You are literally clueless. Like, you're going to know me for 10 years and you'll know, and you believe that I'm a person of high integrity, and you'll watch one thing and be like, he's a Trumper, red hat, such and such. Say her name, black square, black square. It's like, you're a loser. It's like, I have nothing but respect for you, and we can disagree about things, but the fact that you're going to cancel out a person that you know to be of high integrity without even doing any of the research yourself to prove that that position is wrong is because you're an NPC, and you need to look into your life a little bit closer than you theoretically are weighing in on other people's lives. And this is happening to everyone. And it's so easy to do it because all they have to do is get around a bunch of people that already agree with them. They'll shut down any discerning any conversation that says otherwise. They want to shut down people like Joe Rogan that are literally just having conversations. It's misinformation, upside down information. And where do they get that talking point? Where do they get the slogan from? They get it from TV. They get it from the news. They get it from the same sources. They're so clueless they don't even know what they're consuming. Yet these are the people that are supposedly representing the adults in the room. These are the people that think that Joseph Nazcaline is in his Depends. Joey, you're never going to be able to get those stains out. Buy a new pair. They think this dude is actually running things. This dude can't run a press conference. This dude can't hold a straight sentence for 10 minutes. This dude can barely stand up straight. And they think that this dude is running things? You're out of your mind. I wouldn't trust Joe to run my donut shop for a week, let alone run the free world. But no, yeah, we'll trust him with foreign policy. How many good foreign policies has Joey Stained Haynes ever made that have been right? Zero. He has done nothing right. Like, hello, like, does anybody remember Tony Bobolinsky? Like, what are we even talking about? No, of course not, because nobody even knows about that story. This dude literally point blank is like an American hero, and he's like, yo, this dude is a literal snake in the literal grass. And everyone's just like, nope. It's like, what is wrong with you? But yeah, I guess. And these are the exact same people that will listen to Gavin lie about this diaper. It's like, people, like, I watch a lot of true crime stories. I like watching true crime. I don't know why, but I just enjoy watching those. And there are a million shows about people that are trapped in abusive relationships, primarily women that are in these abusive relationships with guys that will close them off from their family, take control of their finances, monitor their communication, ostracize them from their friends, gaslight them into believing that they are not right or not worthy or not whatever, that they need to go through them for any and all things that they do. They'll slowly ramp up the abuse from put downs to limitations on movement to verbal abuse to physical abuse, one step at a time. And then 2 years later, this exact same person will be getting slapped around their house, haven't talked to their mom in 2 years. Their mom calls, the guy hangs up, no friends, no nothing, trapped at the house, doors locked all day. If you leave, bing, bang, bong. And then you'll ask the woman, why did you stay? And they'll be like, I don't know. I felt like I couldn't leave. I love him. Sometimes it was good, blah, blah, blah. People fear change. People fear action. Everybody is stuck in an abusive relationship with fake leaders, tyrants masquerading as virtuous leaders. We are in a manipulative relationship, and we are all suffering repetitious trauma and traumatic events over and over again. They understand by creating an environment that makes you believe that there is no escape, that you have no worth, that you can't get out, that they can capture you forever. The best way to imprison a person, I believe it was David, I can't even say his name, that said this, is to make people imprisoned and they can't even see the bars, but they think that they're free. And it's like, that's what we're witnessing. We're trapped in this left, right, endless paradigm of people that are all buddy with each other, that all exchange power, money, influence to their friends and their friends of their friends, and they all prop each other up in this big fake social club that is run primarily by generational wealth, new wealth, skyrocketing wealth, and influence. They figure out how to get the social influencers. They figure out how to get the current puppets in control of the operation, and then they get the big money generational guys that have been there since forever. And they put all those people in one room. You got Garcetti, you got Mussolini, you got London Breed, you got Magic Johnson, social leaders, law leaders, and billionaires. You got the McDonald's guy, you got the Beyond Meat guy, you got the Northrop Grumman guy, you got all the guys. And all those guys, they know a guy. They know people in law, they know people in law enforcement, they know people in every hall of power. Oh, Gav. Oh, I know you have I noticed that you have a winery up in such and such. I happen to know a guy that happens to know a guy that might want to put your wine in every in our baseball stadium. Oh, that's so nice. Oh, that would be nice. Yeah. You just have to let people poop on the sidewalk for the next 4 years. Okay. People forget history. They forget that the power, the institutional power, the bureaucracy used to hire people like the mob to find people that they wanted to find. Because the organized groups, they needed them. To think that there's not a lot of back scratching and cross-pollination going on between all of these people, you got to be blind, clueless, and have absolutely no awareness to history. And even though people will believe this to be true, and even though they will understand this to be true, and even though they'll see it right in front of their face, they only understand it looking backwards on things that have happened. Yet they can't see it looking forwards on things that are happening right now. It's like this stuff's happening in real time. When you watch the E! True Hollywood Story, the A&E or the History Channel recap of 2020, of 2021, 2020, and 2022, you'll be like, how could they have been so stupid that they fell for that? Because people can't see the forest for the trees. They're so close that they can't see it in focus. They can't back up to see that today's decisions and today's inaction will ripple through time in the future. They can't understand that a lie that's told that ends up not being true 4 months later. They can't connect the dots that the lie of today is going to come not true 4 months from now. because everybody is too close to see anything with any focus. They cannot see the most basic of things that are happening. And as a result, what do we get out of it? We get needless human suffering around the entire world. In 4 days, we're about to have the Olympics over in China. Every major economy in the entire planet went down last year except for China. And that's where they're going to go and have these games now. Anybody that really understands the buying and selling of folks, it happens at a really high rate at the Olympics. Any country that has the Olympics typically has lots of suffering happening before, during, and after it, as all the people in the eyes of the world run in. It's a huge economic boom for a country to have the Olympics there. Yet, despite all of the things that they do that are objectively horrifying, that's where we're going to go. That's where all the mainstream TV cameras are about to be at. That's where everybody's about to go and rip it. And then what? And then they're going to go and then they're going to have the Super Bowl over in Los Angeles while there's a guy sitting out in front of the stadium dropping a fresh log right on the street. Ridiculous homelessness problem, ridiculous problems miring the streets of all of those cities. Every local business destroyed, and then they're just going to come in there, and Big Madge and Garcetti are going to be at the Super Bowl with Gav Gav wearing no diaper. And then they're going to pretend like what's going on in Canada is a bunch of Supremes. Okay. It's disgusting. And it's like, it'd be one thing if your lack of paying attention didn't affect children right now. It's like there's a kid going to school in rural California tomorrow in freaking 12 hours. A child, a 7-year-old child, is going to wake up and put a cloth diaper over their face to go to a high school that probably has 150 students in a rural town in California. And by decree of this greasebag psycho, they're going to have to wear this diaper inside, outside, on the bus, in every class, not sit near each other at lunch, have their ability to learn stifled for nothing, while this guy and Big Madge and Eric the Dweeble and London the spirit inside me breed, these tyrants are going to sit in a suite with billionaires eating bonbons, watching the Rams play. I thought the NFL was I thought it was an oppressive. I thought it was oppression. Where's Colin Cap? Where's Big Cap? I thought it was I thought they were lining them up like modern day. Like I thought that's what it was. Wasn't there a Netflix that was them? They're in chains. Oh, wasn't that 2 months ago? But now it's cool because it says "Stop Hate" on their helmet. Okay. Last time I checked, stadium in Los Angeles is indoors. You got the governor and the mayor and the highest paid mayor in America all in the building, the supposed enforcers of these rules, and they're still not following it? But your kid has to get kicked out of school for not following it? Got it. That makes sense. That makes perfect sense. So it's like, they'll flaunt the rules in front of your face. And here's the other thing. These people are so savage, they'll post it online. How stupid would Gavin or Garcetti or London Breed have to be to say, I'm going to take a picture with Magic Johnson and then not be like, hey, Magic, could you not post that on your Instagram? Or like, wait, it's a photograph. Let me, I don't know, put my diaper on. How easy would that have been? And they could have hid it from everybody and nobody would have known, right? Or they maybe would have, but it wouldn't have blown up. They could have just said that. If it was me, if I was at the suite and let's say I was dating someone and I'm with a girl that she thinks I like, it's like, I wouldn't even be stupid enough like, don't take a picture of me here. This guy knows. They know when Magic Johnson tees you up for a photograph, what do they think he's going to do with it? You think Big Madge is going to frame it up and be like, here's a picture of me and London Breed chilling at the Rams game. You think he's going to frame it and hang it on the wall at his house? Of course not. He's going to post it online right now. They care so little about you that they're like, yeah, whatever. They didn't even pretend. They didn't even diaper it on the ear. They didn't even diaper in the hand. They were just like, screw it. Post it. Throw it on the gram, Big Madge. I'll have a press conference tomorrow and gaslight everybody right to their face about it. It's like any idiot would be like, hey, let's not do a picture. Or like, if you're going to take a picture, don't post it on Instagram, you know? Big Madge could have had that photo and he could have just showed it to his pals at the golf course. But no, they're like, yeah, let's grab a photo. It's like, and not only that, the photo's still up. They don't care. It's so obvious that they just don't care. Meanwhile, you have so many people suffering all around the world, and you just have these people just laughing about it. And then the greatest chance that anybody has to like escape all this madness is happening in Canada right now. There's something to be said about that. I find it remarkable that this is the moment in history that we're all living in right now. And it's kind of like, as they say, it's like you're put here for a reason, right? You're never given a challenge that you're not capable of overcoming, or the challenge wouldn't come to you in the first place. So it's like, this is the challenge. This is the moment. This is the thing. This is it. It's like, if there ever was a thing, this would be what it looked like. It's like, all of you pay attention to content like this because you have the discernment and you feel that you have the capacity to understand it, to distribute it, and it makes you feel like your beliefs are not only your own. That what you know to be true actually is. Because at whatever time, and even at 11 o'clock at night on a Monday, there could be 250, 300 people watching just this one stream about this topic. It's like, that's 300 people right here, right now. And then it's going to be another 3,000 people or 4,000 people tomorrow. That's 7,000 people or 3,000 people or 5,000 people or whatever it is that are right that close to the truth as you are. And it's not just me that's in here. All of you are in here. You're all here in the comments. You are all here just as much as I'm here. And interestingly enough, even though I'm the only one that happens to be visible right now, people are talking to each other. Friendships are being formed. People are in the comments that are always in the comments. They interact after, and networks are being built. What's up, dude? Sorry, I think my dog's got to pee. Hold on a second. Hey, come here. Come on. 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 So networks are being built, and this is how all great things happen. It's like, this is how we got what happened in Canada. This is how all great things go down. So it's like, the main thing that people don't have is they don't have people don't have the external media distribution validation that they need to believe that there are actually more people that believe this way, because they're making a really hard case to convince you that you're alone in these beliefs. Because opinions that are not approved are suppressed here, suppressed, video, audio, and text suppressed, on television suppressed or eliminated outright. People that speak the truth or people that have another viewpoint of it on the radio, off the radio, in music, off the music, canceled, blocked. People like Bryson Gray, canceled, deleted, removed from Bandcamp, removed from Spotify, censored. People like Tommy Vexed, removed from his label, can't talk, not going to play your music, not going to play your music on the radio. You can't perform at this arena. You can't perform on this. You can't talk about it at work. You can't wear it on a shirt and get on a plane. You can't talk about it in a auditorium or a theater unless that theater allows it to happen. They're certainly not going to publish a book. It's not going to be on Amazon. It's not going to be in a big box retail store. All the businesses that are incentivized for you to buy more cheeseburgers and buy more French fries and buy more gambling and buy more alcohol and buy more blank, 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 blank. They don't have any interest in you knowing what's up. Because if you know one thing, then you can figure out another thing. All the organizations that sell you pills, anxiety medication, psychological help, a medication for this and a medication for that, a quick fix for this and a quick fix for that. They don't want you to know. They don't want you to be on that vein. They don't want that. They certainly don't want you to go to the gym. They shut those gyms down. So they have this huge effort to ostracize any alternative viewpoint out of the chat. And them doing that to somebody like Joe Rogan is so obvious. This guy is just talking to people. And he's talking to the people that are the most qualified and published in their field on these individual topics. Yet despite all that, you got goons like Neil Young and Joni Mitchell and insert creepy, weird top hat boomer here that are in solidarity. The formerly based, free-spirited, drug and alcohol ridden rockers, anti-establishment rockers of the 60s are the boomer shills of the modern day. And they don't even get it. They're like Bernie Sanders. Like, they're like yelling at the children on their lawn. And it's like, you're out, dude. Like, sorry, Neil. Like, go to pasture, bro. Like, shut your face. Like, your relevancy is tapped. And the fact that you would try to censor a person that you disagree with is I don't care how much your music is great. I don't care what you did in the past. That's tyrant-like behavior. Kick rocks, bro. Like, go churn some butter, dude. Like, you're no longer relevant. You have been removed from my sphere of understanding in the world. Peace. Deuces, bro. Keep on rocking in the free world. Keep on rocking in the royalty-free world. Good day. Like, enjoy your golden years. Like, take a hike, bro. Because the world is trash because of people like you, fam. When instead, these people of influence could have done one of two things. He could have just done, I don't know, nothing. He could have just shut up and just let it go. Yet he has to inject himself into a conversation where he has absolutely no standing, where he has absolutely nothing to add to the conversation whatsoever. Who are you going to trust with your health information? Joe or Neil Young? Even if you just put these two people next to each other, it would be more than obvious whom you would trust. And it's just like, the fact that these people even believe that they're even slightly relevant is hilarious in and of itself. It's like, peace, Neil. It's like all these people that are 78, 80 years old that are trying to dictate how the world should be run for people that are 8 years old, 20 years old. Peace, dude. Like, you have lost relevance and you have no significance to anybody that actually cares. Like, congrats, bro. I hope they put me on TV with that clip that I made. That would be hilarious. And I hope Neil sees it while he's churning butter at his house. Congrats, dude. But whatever. So what's the lesson? The lesson is we're witnessing a ridiculous and obvious financial and power shift the world has never even seen. What's happening at the border? What's happening with the things that are coming over the border? What's happening with the people that they're sneaking in, that they're distributing all around the country? What's happening with the rules about voting, the no ID voting, the mail-in voting, all of that stuff? All of the laws that they're trying to pass, all the people that they're putting into these positions of power, all the dark money that runs all the shadowy, multi-generationally powered operations that really run the world. These spineless tyrants that they're artificially anointing to social power and objective power, where they can just say by decree, it's by emergency such and such. What emergency? And then all of those people are all just conspiring with each other in real time in plain sight that we can all see. And they're just stuffing it right in our dirt star. And people are so clueless that the people that they think to fight about it with is their friends, their family members, their fellow man and woman, their fellow theys and thems, and upside down giraffes and hippopotamus. I'm a hippopotamus. I identify as a hippopotamus. That's what they think is right. That's who their targets are on. Okay. And despite how blatantly obvious it is, and how they are so obviously manipulating things like the stock market, like in a matter of days, it's like you can lose tens of thousands of dollars in your stock portfolio in days, and then go up tens of thousands of dollars in days. And it's like, these people know when the calls are going to be made that make it go up and make it go down. You could make millions and millions of dollars by just being a little bit on the inside track of how the policies are fluctuating. The stock market no longer goes up and down based on the fundamentals or principles of any business's economic viability. It's not about sales. It's not about marketing. It's not about success. It's not about profits. It's not about any of that stuff. The only thing that matters is the dictate of where the stock ticker is today and all of the financial incentives that go to the people at the top that are tied to that price being at a certain place at a certain time. So they use things like the Federal Reserve to artificially inflate and deflate it on a moment's notice. Let's gas it up for 6 months. Let's rip it down for 3 months. And then they sell it on the way up, and then they sell it on the way down. They have put options and shorts and all of these other financial instruments that your average everyday people don't even know about, understand, or have the financial backing to do it. They have unlimited banks of cash that they get for pennies on the dollar that they can borrow from the Federal Reserve Bank themselves. They're deemed too big to fail. They have people like Elizabeth Warren and Bernie Sandbags and all of these clowns right in their back pocket. They take your sites like a squirrel off the target and target you at people like Kroger and people that are running actual legitimate businesses and away from the people that are actually the tyrants. You have people protesting Wall Street instead of protesting Pennsylvania Avenue. Everybody is off the target. Everybody is emotionally manipulated to the point where they don't even know left from right, up from down. All they know is that they're angry, that they should be angry, and they got to yell at somebody because it's somebody's fault. And if they go to somebody else to point them to whose fault it is, it's just it is the perfect grift. It is the perfect way to take something that is probably right and manipulate it to target at the thing that is wrong. And that's what's happening in mass across the entire world. Oh, you don't like grandma? And then they just gaslight you right to your face. And the sad part about it all is it's going to continue. And that even though it's going on right now, there will be another crisis. There will be another issue. I think it's going to be the weather. I think that's what they're going to say. As soon as all this stuff goes away, they're going to be like, you can only fly however many times. You can only drive however far. You can only have such and such a type of vehicle. You can only heat your house such and such amount of things. You can only eat so much beef and so much chicken and so much pork. You can only do this. You can only go here. You can only do this. You can only do that. Bitcoin is illegal. It's being used for illegal purposes. It's a threat to society. We have to save it. Use your Fed bucks. Use your digital Fed coins. That's where you're going to get your tax refund if you don't spend it on one of these specific things that we deem worthy of it being spent on, somebody who we already have in the back pocket. So, anyways. We have the ability to change this if we could only understand our own individual power in our actions, what we say, what we do, voting with our feet, etc. But because so many people believe that they have no power, they give away what little power they may have had and the lot of power that they could have had they chosen to. So I hope that everybody pays attention to Canada, circulates information about it, all of the good things, and understands that they have something real to contribute to this cause in the form of voting with their dollars, voting with their attention, and voting with their voice and actions. So I hope that more people do that very soon, because even though it's bad, I do feel very optimistic about what's going on. And I think that we're witnessing something very great. So I say keep the faith and recognize the moment that we're in right now and what you could potentially contribute to it. Donate to the convoy, repost the videos, run for local office, convince people to have a conversation with you where you can maybe change their mind. And I think lots of good things are happening. I think this could be the year that the world wakes up. I think it's already happening. I think they don't want it to happen, but they're going to need to cave, and they're going to need to find a new scapegoat. Thank you, Tamara, for the Venmo. Whoever, thank you so much. I just saw a Venmo come in from Tamara. Somebody else sent me a Venmo earlier too, so thank you so much to whoever did that. I really do appreciate that. Thank you guys so much for those. I hope everybody enjoyed this. I'm really enjoying the fact that I'm back on these lives. This was the most attended live I've had in several months. There was over 300 people on here between the two streams at one point. There was 165 on Facebook and YouTube, and I saw almost at 185, 190 here on Instagram. So there's a lot of people here, especially for a late night. So I really appreciate that. I'm glad to be doing these again. I will be on Speak Truth Without Fear on Thursday night at 9 p.m. I'm doing a podcast, the 365 Driven podcast on Thursday night as well. For anybody that's going to CPAC in Orlando in February, I will be at CPAC. And you'll see me a lot more on these live streams going forward, because like I said, I have my push notifications back. I'm supposed to get my badges back the day after tomorrow. So I'm really excited to be kind of like back in that mix. The video that I made about Canada, which was called it was called Keep on Truckin' Canada, is my most watched Instagram video in the last couple of months, at over 18,000, because I hadn't been putting as many of those long form videos out. So if you saw that on Instagram, consider watching it or sharing it, posting it your story. And I also, that Keep on Truckin' Canada video has been really going nuts on Facebook. I think it has 50,000 views on my Facebook page. I saw like a 500% increase in week over week followers on Facebook this week because of that video. I reposted Dead Pedal Coffee this morning. I made a deal with Dead Pedal Coffee where they're going to send me free coffee so that I can share their stuff, because I love their coffee and I drink it all the time. So I genuinely love it. I drink it every day. So you're going to be seeing me post a little bit more stuff from Dead Pedal Coffee. Go and check them out. Those guys are awesome. Some freedom-loving American small business owners. Support them. I appreciate everybody that's been buying stuff on bobbysauce.com. I am going to have a little bit of an announcement as it relates to that. Got a new kind of plan going forward for some of the merch stuff, and everything I think is going right. I think what we are witnessing is certainly a good thing, and I think there's a lot of good things to come. Thank you, everybody that have been in the comments commenting. Thank you to the 2 or 3 people that I saw donating on YouTube. I can't scroll back to the YouTube thing and see who they were. I think it was Tempe and Thomas. Thank you guys so much for that. And thank you all so much for the Venmos and for everyone that is here. I really appreciate it so much. Guys, don't talk about it, be about it. Go out there, vote with your eyes, vote with your attention, vote with your feet. And keep all eyes on Canada. Post content about that. And thank you all so much. For anybody that I saw the other day at the Project Veritas event in Miami, that was awesome. It was so good to see you. If you ever see me in real life, please come up to me and say what up. Don't be weird, but come say what up. I love meeting you in person. It is so nice hearing from people. I've said it before. I'll say it again. I love the idea of speaking to people. If you have an event, if you have a college campus, if you have a festival, or if you have a stage or whatever that you think that would make sense for me to speak on, let me know. I want to get my voice heard out there. If anybody has a speaking event or knows somebody that wants somebody to speak at their event, I would love to speak there. I'm not really all that interested so much in getting paid to speak. I just want to be speaking places. It's not about the money for me right now. It's really about the distribution. So if you know anybody that wants somebody like Bobby Sauce to speak, I would love to go to some events and speak. I would love to give that Gettysburg Address like 150 times because I think I think it's powerful, important, and can be heard by a lot of people. So if you know somebody that has stage spots, please think of me and refer me. Email me at woke@bobbysaucelito.com, woke, WOKE, at bobbysauce.com, woke@bobbysauce.com. If you have any of that stuff. Thank you guys for being here. I appreciate you so much. Thank you for everything. I'm so glad to be back. I will see you again tomorrow. Facebook, YouTube, Twitch. Thank you for being here. I appreciate it. Let's get it. Canada. Thank you guys so much. Appreciate it. I will see you tomorrow.